SCORE Northeast Wisconsin and WHBY are pleased to bring you Biz Talk, a chance for you to hear from entrepreneurs and professionals as they share their experiences. From starting to sustaining growth, learn the skills needed for your business to be successful. If you miss anything, you can catch the Biz Talk podcast at score.org/Northeast Wisconsin. And now from the Myron Construction Studio, it's Biz Talk on WHBY.
Good morning and welcome to Biz Talk with SCORE. I'm Terry Pinch, the host this week. I will be going solo this week as due to some of the weather events of the week, we've had to make some adjustments in our schedule. But luckily, we still have a great guest for you this week. Our guest is Jamie Harvey, Executive Director of the Fox West Chamber of Commerce. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And to get started, could you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your background and how you got to where you are?
Sure. So I worked for the Heart of the Valley Chamber of Commerce for 6 years. Then I was in the restoration world and I was an ambassador for all three of the local chambers here. And then at the end of last year, I was approached by the board president saying, do you want to take this executive director role and make it full time? I said, yeah, that would be awesome. I went home. I was so excited that I had to pump the brakes and be like, all right, relax. Things have to go through a process. I didn't realize the board had to vote me in. So I looked at the board and I'm like, oh, these are people I've supported throughout the years. So I got voted in and I started in the very first beginning of January. And it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a huge learning curve, but we're loving it.
Okay. And was working with the Heart of the Valley, was that your first job out of school or you done other experiences?
Absolutely not. So when I first graduated college in Madison, I worked for Spin Group in Milwaukee. It was so my background was in website design, multimedia technology, and we worked there for a couple of years. We were a subcontractor for GE Medical Systems, and then after a couple of years, they dissolved that part of GE. And I grew up snowboarding, and my family would take us on trips all over the United States. And we went to Tahoe one year, and I said, I'm moving here. So when they dissolved that, I grabbed my best friend. I said, do you want to give up on life and go be a snowboard bum for a winter? And she said, yes. So we went out there, and as soon as winter was done, we're like, well, I want to stick around for summer. So we did. And then all of our friends were getting married. So we had to go home for the summer. I'm like, I can't afford, to go home 7 different times. So let's just go home for the summer. So we did. And all of our friends got married. I looked at her. I said, do you want to go back? And she said, yeah. So we went back, got our old apartment back, got our old jobs back on the mountain. And I met my husband out there who's from Chicago. He's got a cabin up in Marinette, and she married one of his best friends, and she's still out there.
What brought you back?
So his grandma passed and left him a house in Chicago, and his brother and sister lived down there. They had kids and jobs, and they didn't have time to take care of it. So let's fix it up, sell it, come back to Tahoe. Well, that's when the economy took a tank, and we were there a lot longer than we wanted to be. Then it's like, do we move back to Tahoe and work 2 jobs, or do we stay in the Midwest where your parents aren't getting any younger? We've got nieces and nephews. So I go, how about Appleton? That's middle ground. My family's up north in Upper Michigan and in Appleton and in Madison. His family's in Chicago, again, with his cabin in Marinette. It was an awesome middle ground. So that's where we settled down.
Okay, cool. So let's turn to the Fox West Chamber.
Yes.
Can you tell our listeners who the Fox West Chamber is and a bit of its history?
Of course. So the Fox West Chamber, its territory is Fox Crossing, Grand Chute, Greenville, and Hortonville. And but like any other chamber, we have members from Fond du Lac, Wapaka, De Pere, whoever finds value in it, join. The history of it, I had to look it up because I saw these notes. It was founded in Hortonville in 1999 with about 50 members, and they had brat fries, rummage sales, some socials, and then by 2009 they got about 60 people. And then the town of Greenville approached Lance Schmidt. Lance Schmidt was with Wolf River Bank for a long time to start one in Greenville, and so they did. And they formed a mission of building business, enriching communities.
Okay, so with the chamber itself, you've been in the role now since the beginning of January, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what surprised you the most in these first 6 months?
So we were talking about this a little bit before the show. What surprised me is the financial part of it. Again, I never had to deal with the financial means in any role I've ever had in my life. And again, we implemented a new database at the start. Also, the office itself was never utilized. So, like, we didn't have office furniture, we didn't have a stapler, we didn't have tape, so we had to like build from the ground up and at the same time pay attention to the database, at the same time try to grow members, at the same time, keep our finances where they're supposed to be. So it was funny. One of our board members asked me about a week or so ago. He's like, Jamie, I'm going to guess when you first started here, you were swimming in confusion. I'm like, you know what? I couldn't put it any other way. I'm like, that's perfect. I was swimming in confusion. But like you said, like day by day goes by, week goes by, month goes by, everything is going a lot more smoothly.
So as you look back over those last 6 months, how much have you learned?
Oh, I've learned a lot. So it's funny. So my title is executive director. I am the low man on the totem pole. So I have to answer to the entire board, which are super supportive and helpful. All the members, having questions and whatnot. So every day I learn something, and I swear. So I work with Sue Lamers in the office. She's the assistant director. And every day I say, I learned something new today. I learned something new today.
Okay. So tell me, why should a business join a chamber?
Why wouldn't they? So like I said, I've been in the chamber world for a long time, and I will say this till the day I die. It works if you work it. People will join sometimes and then don't attend anything. And then a year comes around for renewal and they're like, well, I didn't see any value. It's like, I didn't see you at anything. I send out a weekly email of like the week's events and now upcoming events, even monthly events. And it's like, please come. I have seen it I wouldn't be in this position if I didn't believe in it. People show up to these events, they network, they either find out they're working with them, they're working for them, they made connections, they're golfing with them, they find friends. Like you will get your value back 100%, if not more, with your membership value. Come to these events, talk about yourself, say what's going on in your business, advertise yourself, be a part of this growing community, and you will see results.
Okay. So we'll talk more about the specific events later in the show.
Okay.
But for a person who's going to come into the chamber, is really what you're selling networking, or is there even more to it than that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Networking, business referrals, and sponsorships. If you want to stay involved, like we have our golf outing coming up at the end of June or July, and it's very well attended. And if you want to get your name out there, be a presenting sponsor, get a hole flag, sit on a hole, talk about yourself. Yeah. And so with the membership value is referrals. Grow your business. We can help you with that. If there's anything going on in your business, you join the chamber, you get your own database portal. You can go in there, advertise, say, we have this event going on, blah, blah, blah. It goes directly to our website. If they say, hey, Jamie, I want to promote this, it'll go directly into my weekly email. Jamie, I want to promote this on Facebook. I'll share it on Facebook. We're here to support and grow all these businesses and make connections for them to do that.
So there are chambers across the state, across the country. So obviously businesses see the value, but how are you funded? How are all these chambers funded to do the great work they do?
So again, you can join at a level that will have so our annual events that will have tickets for the Timber Rattlers night, tickets for the annual awards, tickets for the golf outing. You can get that at a higher level. If you go to a lower level, you can still sponsor those events. Be like, I just want 2 tickets for this. I'm going to go at this lower level, and I want 1 ticket for this. I'm going to go at this lower. So your money is wherever you want to put it in. So it's advertising, it's sponsorships, it's membership. But absolutely use it. Don't let it sit there.
Yeah. So with chambers, there's a lot of change going on in the world around us right now. What does that mean for chambers? What challenges are you facing? What changes are you guys seeing that you have to learn, that you have to adapt to?
What challenges do we face? My God, everything. So again, money, you know what I mean? We're a nonprofit, so we have a very tight budget, so we have our annual events, like we can allocate this money to this event. We can allocate this money to this event. We can allocate money to this, event. So obviously we're looking to continue to grow. Challenges, I will tell you what, you cannot please everyone all the time. So with the amount of membership you have, people have questions, comments, concerns every day about maybe you should do it this way, maybe you should do it that way. Hey, here's a new idea. So you're dealing with all these members, and you have to accommodate all of them and be positive about it and make sure that they're not just a number, that they're a valued member, and how we can help them. And that comes up every day in a different way, shape, or form.
So going back to the members themselves, as you talk to them, what are you hearing from your members about what they're most concerned about in the business environment right now?
Well, so I'll give you an example. We have a guy at UW Oshkosh that comes or is available at our chamber every second Wednesday of the month from 1 to 3, and it's free, and he does a small business development advising. So, for example, we were in after hours. A small business that just opened approached me, and she said, Jamie, I'm having a hard time getting people in the door. I said, talk to Chad. Chad's right here. Chad talked to her. So he met her at her business, sat down, gave her free advice, and how she can move forward. And that's been successful. It's been great. Just, I don't even say holding hands. It's connecting hands, soft hands up. You need to talk to this person. You need to talk to this person.
So as you look across your membership, then who are your members? What's the makeup of your membership?
So we have very large businesses, Myron and Bolt, but then we also have, Tom and Sally's Beauty Salon down the store. We've got the Stoneyard that's right across the street from us. Pretty much anybody, like I said earlier, that sees value in us, that wants to participate and come to our events and grow their presence. We really will, are open to anybody. There's little boutique shops. There's huge manufacturing plants. But again, as long as they want to join, that's great. But we want to see their faces.
Okay.
And connect them with people. And this is what I always say too. So we just had somebody join a hotel, and he's new to the area, doesn't really know anybody. I told him, I go, the next event you want to go to, tell me you're coming or register. I will meet you at the front door. Nobody wants to go to events and sit in the corner and not talk to anybody. I'm like, I will introduce you to everybody. Our chamber is a very welcoming chamber. So as soon as a new person comes into an event, it's like, oh, new kid, so everyone wants to shake their hand and meet them and see how they can add value and how they can work together. It's really great. It's a great community.
Okay. So as we head to wrapping up this first segment, how can people financially support the Fox West Chamber?
So again, I mentioned earlier, with membership and with sponsorship, absolutely. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4 annual events. So if they want to get their name out there, if they want to get their business out there, they can either sponsor or join.
Okay, so we're going to be taking our first break now.
Okay.
You're listening to Biz Talk with Score on WHBY, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Biz Talk. Thanks for joining us this week. Before we get back to our guest, Jamie Harvey, who's the Executive Director of the Fox West Chamber of Commerce, I want to give you a short overview of SCORE. SCORE Northeast Wisconsin serves a 29-county area, primarily in Northeast Wisconsin, with over 30 members in the region and access to over 10,000 members nationally. We offer entrepreneurs no cost and confidential mentoring. Areas of expertise include marketing, cash flow, strategic planning, workflow, HR, best practices, and many other specialties. In order to register for a no-cost and confidential mentoring session and learn more about the Northeast Wisconsin SCORE chapter, visit our website at score.org/WI/Northeast-Wisconsin. When visiting our website, you can complete an online application for a mentoring session. Simply complete the online form and submit it to SCORE. Within a few days, a SCORE mentor will be contacting you to set up the meeting. Remember, SCORE is no cost and offers members who can experts who can offer you assistance in many different areas your business may need assistance in. To get started, simply visit our website at score.org/WI/Northeast-Wisconsin. And just as a reminder for everyone, we are a national nonprofit, a local chapter. We're affiliated with the Small Business Administration, but we are a separate nonprofit. And we do use this radio show to help raise our money for the chapter. And we're very appreciative of all of you both listening and working with our sponsors as well. To support small business people, SCORE is always looking for new mentors. If you have experience that you would like to share with others, we'd love to talk to you. Go to score.org/WI/Northeast-Wisconsin. Click on the volunteer button and fill out the short application. We'll get back to you to explain more. In addition to our broadcast in WHBY, Biz Talk with SCORE is also available as a podcast. We bring you the same expert advice, impactful stories, and real-world insights from experienced entrepreneurs and business leaders as you get here on WHBY on Biz Talk. Listen and follow today. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Now back to Biz Talk and our guest, Jamie Harvey. And Jamie, building on our discussion in the first segment, can you talk a little bit about both how the Fox West Chamber educates its members, but also helps contribute to educating the community about business?
Absolutely. So every month we have our monthly meeting. It rotates between the municipalities of Grand Chute, Greenville, and Hortonville. And we have a whole committee that takes care of it, and we bring in a different presenter every month. And they bring in all their different topics, whether they want to talk about social media, whether they want to talk about what's going on in the community, whether they want to have an interactive, session. We're always looking for presenters for that. We have that, and we also have our Chamber University, which is as of yesterday in our board meeting. We're switching it up to every quarter. It's going to be a professional development meeting, and it's going to be 2 hours. We're going to bring in speakers from UW Oshkosh, Fox Valley Technical College, which is great. Also, we have a donut shop for the students. So we get about 5 different area schools together. They bring all the students in. They all sit at their teams and their tables. They have one mentor at every table, and they come up with their different thoughts and about how they would present a new donut shop and the name for it and how it would work and run. And like I said to you earlier, it's highly entertaining and very creative what these kids come up with. But we're always looking to give back to the students. We also have we had one student on our board last year. We gave him a scholarship. He's graduating and going on. We give out 2 scholarships a year. We allocate that in our budget. And we presented them to the Hortonville students. Now we have 2 new students that came into the board meeting yesterday, and they are very impressive and driven, and they've got thoughts and ideas. Again, when I was 16, I wasn't where these kids are at, but they're very promising, and we're lucky to have them and give them some, insight on future business roles and what the real world, quote unquote, looks like.
Okay. So when I moved to Wisconsin for a couple of years in the 90s, I think 1993, a lot of the people I knew who had kids in high school and that would go off to college and then they wouldn't come back. Okay.
Yes.
And when I moved back again in 2003, you started to see some more people staying. With this work you're doing with the schools, are you seeing positive effects starting to happen with being able to tell the story of why people should stay in the area and the great opportunities that are here?
Okay, I'm so glad you said that, because before my time here at the Chamber, they did a heavy metal bus tour, and they went to these bigger businesses. Like, if your students want to go off to college, great, go to the college experience, but we want them to retain them and have them come back and stay in the Fox Valley area and grow and see these businesses here. So we want to expose them to as many businesses as we can, and see where the internships come in, see where what it looks like to stay here and grow here and live and work and play here.
And as you look at your members, is that something they're seeing too? As unemployment rates are so low here.
Yes.
Is it hard for your members to find employees sometimes too?
Well, that comes in all shapes and sizes. So our manufacturing people are involved with our chamber university, and that's where the encouragement comes in, is for these kids to stay here, see the value of the job market here, and like how you can make money here and have a good life here and be by your family here. So, like I said, go to college, come back.
Yeah. So
come back to us. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think any of my kids expected that they'd stay around here, and all three of them have. And so did we. So with that, we are going to take our second break. You're listening to Biz Talk with Score on WHBY, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Biz Talk with Score. We're talking to Jamie Harvey, Executive Director of the Fox West Chamber of Commerce. But before I get back to Jamie, I would like to tell you, or take a moment to tell you about another nonprofit, St. Patrick's Gifts and Books in Northland Mall. In 1976, Father Timon Costello was looking for a way to help fund two halfway houses he'd helped charter, Villa Hope and Villa Phoenix. As a result, in July of that year, he opened St. Patrick's Bookstore, a nonprofit Catholic and Christian store in Appleton. Less than a decade later, the halfway houses were self-sufficient, and St. Patrick's turned to helping fund other nonprofits in the area, including warming shelters, food pantries, youth organizations, and abuse shelters, among others. The store has been serving the community for 50 years. With the massive changes in the way retail works now, a difficult decision to close the store has been made, and it will be closing on July 31st. Closing sales and the endowment previously established by St. Patrick's Gifts and Books will be used to continue supporting Fox Valley nonprofit community organizations in the future. Please visit the store inside the Northland Mall before the final date to take advantage of closing sales, use gift cards, or just say goodbye to the manager for the last 35 years, Patty DeMarco, as well as her dedicated staff. SCORE would like to thank St. Patrick's for their 50 years of providing needed community assistance, as well as thanking everyone for 50 years of support for St. Patrick's. And with that, we'll get back to the show. And again, we're talking to Jamie Harvey from Fox West Chamber. And Jamie, let's start getting into a little more detail now about what businesses can do when they get involved with the chamber. So what value, first of all, let's start with events. And what value do events bring for the chamber itself?
Okay. So every month we have 3 events. Every month we have our cards and coffee in the morning. You show up, you go around the room, give your elevator speech. I'm Jamie Harvey with the Fox West Chamber. This is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. I'm Terry with SCORE. And you go around the room. So then afterwards, after you're done talking about the events and yourself and what your business is doing currently, people are like, stick around. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And they make great business referrals and connections. Okay. Then every month we have our monthly meeting. Again, I said they transfer between Greenville, Grand Chute, and Portonville municipalities. And we have a different speaker for all of them. Lunch is available. You don't have to have lunch, but if you do, there's a small fee. And they're all educational. But again, we go around the room, get introduce yourself, say what's going on, and then we let the presenter speak. Then every month we have our business after hours, and those are just fun. So bring your business cards, grab a cocktail, grab an appetizer, network, and you can stay for 10 minutes. You can stay for 2 hours. It's just very casual. And now, again, those change locations every month, not every 3 places, every month. Then we have our yearly events. We have our annual golf outing, which is coming up at the end of July at Shasta. There is an option to do 18 holes if you want to, or we kick off and do the 9 hole. It's a 9-hole golf outing, but there's an option to do 18. And that's a lot of fun. Then we have our annual Night at the Timber Rattlers, which is tonight. And that's fun. We've got about 87 people coming. We've got a suite for it. We've got seats for it. If it rains or pours, we're set. Come get some food. And again, depending on your membership level, those tickets are included. If you're not at the smallest level, you can still buy tickets. So there's that. And then we have our annual awards dinner where we recognize people and businesses in the community that have done exceptional work, that have supported the chamber. That's going to be out at, out in Neenah. And then we have one that we're doing this year that's new to us. We're going to do a glow golf, which is going to happen at dusk. It's not a golf outing, it's a golf event where you can do 3 holes. Everything's going to be lit up with signs and glow golf balls and a lot of fun. It's going to have an 80s theme with a DJ that's doing 80s music. So you can come and just network and hang out, or you can golf 3 holes in the somewhat dark. If you do 3, you can do it again. So we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And for us, so far, we haven't seen anyone else do that here in the area. So we're always looking for new things to do. So the value is come to these events, present yourself, present your business. The more you come, the more networking you will get out of it, the more people you will meet.
So let's talk a little bit about, for example, the golf outing. What goes into planning that event and who does it?
Okay, so that's a great question. So I am lucky enough that I have an events committee and they do it. So they have it. It's kind of like a well-oiled machine again. So I'm relatively new here. So they have this person that's going to set up the golfers. This one's going to set up the time, the logistics. This one's going to set up the sponsorships. And so it's amazing this support that I have. Again, that's at Chaska. Again, sponsorships are huge. Have a hole. Put a flag on it, sit on it all day, have a game, hand out trinkets, of your business, pens, whatever, the typical giveaways.
Okay. So for the people who sponsor the holes and sponsor other parts of the golf outing, for example, are they typically members, or do you go out and find other people as well to sponsor?
They're typically members. I don't know why someone would want to just sponsor and not be a member. Because, like I said, it comes with the packages depending on their level of sponsorship. If you're going to spend, so much money for the sponsorship, why wouldn't you spend it on membership? I guess. Why would that make sense? It would come together.
Okay. So then another one I know you do is a lot of is ribbon cutting. Can you talk a little bit about, first of all, what that involves, and then how does somebody get you to do the ribbon cutting?
Yes. So ribbon cuttings are a lot of fun. If somebody gets a new business, we have one next week. It's called at Bloom and Brew, and they're new. So you just walk in there and you say, "Congratulations, this is awesome. We would love to get people here to come in your doors and buy some food and drink, and we'll do a ribbon cutting, celebrate you, and put you on our social media, and put you on our weekly email list." And those are great, to support the community and get people in their doors. That's really what we want. If you're going to join, we'll come out there and cut a ribbon for if you've got a new plant. I'm not kidding. So we've got another member. He's not new, but he wanted to get people out there. So he has an event coming for him. It's Josh Carter State Farm, and he's doing a good neighbor event. So he's got this box outside of his building that has non-perishable food items. And, that's great. So we'll go out there and celebrate that. Any kind of groundbreakings, we'll go out there. We've got scissors, we've got a ribbon, and we'll clap our hands and we'll bring the people and celebrate you. And again, it goes all out on our social media. It goes out on our weekly emails, and you get attention. And that's really what we want, is put attention on our members.
Yeah. So when you look at all the different events that you offer for mentors or for members, is it something where it's a pretty consistent group of people are coming? Or do you see that you're able to pull different people into different types of events?
So that's a great question as well. So we have an ambassadors group. So our ambassadors group, we meet once a month and be like, here's a list of all the new members. We're going to assign you, or who wants to get assigned to this person, to this person. So we would like to get as many people in their faces to welcome them. And like I said earlier, like, hey, if you want to come to something, call me. I'll meet you at the front door. I'll walk you around, make you feel welcome. And so that's a great group of people. But also, we do have a core group of people that come to everything, and we love them and we love their support. But also at the same time, new people will come in here and there to check us out. And this is what I tell everybody too. I'm like, if you're not sure about joining, I'm like, we've got the 3 visit rule. Like, come to the Cards and Coffee, come to the after hours, come to something. And after 3 visits, if you find it valued, then yeah, join please. But if you want to come check us out for free, come check us out for free. Look at our events page on our website. and let me know. You can even email me and just say, I'm looking to come. I don't know anybody. We had a girl walk in our doors the other day. She's like, I'm new here from Stevens Point and I want to meet people. So I thought I'd join the chamber. She has come consistently to everything and she's been a huge, awesome asset. And I said, I'm so glad you joined. You just fit right in and you're making friends. And it's just, again, it works if you work it.
Okay. So, and switching to other things, and you kind of touched on it with the ambassadors, but what are some of the volunteer opportunities that members of the chamber can get involved in?
We will take volunteers for anything. We'll take volunteers for the ribbon cutting. We'll take volunteers for any event we have, especially for the golf outing. We have a group of young professionals, and at this golf week coming up, last year they had different booze bottles, out on the green, and you could pay to hit one of them. You hit one of them, you get one of them. They were having a blast with that. We'll take volunteers for the annual awards that sit at the front desk and take tickets or whatever, or give handouts. We're going to also have this new event this year called the Monster Mash. That's a whole other thing to talk about, but that's in Hortonville. And we're going to have games, prizes, musicians, face painters, whatnot. We'll take volunteers for that. We will never say no to anybody that wants to volunteer their time and efforts for anything. Also, we're involved in the catfish races this year. And we have our volunteers actually already filled up for that. So someone stands next to you to check IDs, and then you slap a wristband on them. So if anyone wants to volunteer, just let us know. We will take you.
So what's in it for the volunteers? What do they get out of this work?
Oh, well, first it's fun, and they get to be part of the community, and they get to be in front of like at the annual awards. If you're sitting at the desk and you have like your bank shirt on, everyone gets to see your face. They get to see what bank you're with. They get to see that you're supporting the community. They get to see that you're, here to help. There's no loss in it.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the board of directors. As a nonprofit and an association like you are, the board plays a pretty important role. So first, talk about who we are, not specifically, but generally, who become members of the board and what is their role?
So the board was established before I arrived on the scene. I don't know exactly how they got to where they were, if they were volunteered, if they were recruited, but I will tell you what, they're a group of amazing people that are so supportive and active in the chamber, that run their own committees. And I just sit in these meetings and my mind is blown. They're like, we've got this going on. We got this going on. This is covered. This is what we're doing. And it goes around the room one by one by one by one by one. It's humbling.
And how do they help you in terms of your learning about this organization and how it works and where it's going?
Pretty much I sit there and they tell me what's going on, where it's happening, who's happening, like where do I need to go? And that's about it. They kind of run. I am in no means the boss. They run the chamber. They keep it running smoothly. Each one of them has their own events committee that they're running. And I just sit there and listen and learn and try to be like them someday.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the young professionals. We touched on it, but what is the young professionals group? How do you recruit for it and what do they do?
Okay, so young professionals, it's under 40 and it's being restructured this year. So it's finally starting to take off a little bit, but they do fun stuff like they do bingo night. They do Thanksgiving night. They do fun things because they're young and they're under 40. But again, that's being restructured and it's about to take off again. So I just posted something on Facebook the other day, like this is what's happening. Stay involved. More details to come.
Okay. And
again, I don't lead that. Somebody else on our board does that.
But is that group responsible for, say, volunteering for business after hours or other things like that too?
No. So the business after hours is run by our events committee. And that's, kind of open, like we'll kind of knock on somebody's door and be like, hey, we need a business after hours for this month. Are you interested? Yeah, I'd love to. Okay. It's typically Thursday, 4 to 6. couple drinks, couple appetizers. No one is expected to do that, but it's typical.
Okay. So one thing we wanted to touch on, and I saw it on your website this morning, but is there anything you can share about Fox West 50?
No, because that is also being restructured, and we have got a meeting coming up in July, what's expected about how it's going to be running in 2027. So unfortunately, I don't have enough information to speak on that, nor do I want to, but so I'm waiting to get more information on that myself.
Okay, so people should stay tuned and they'll find out more about it later.
Yeah.
Let's touch a little bit on working with other chambers. We've had chambers of commerce on over the years, and one of the most important things they talked about was their interaction with other chambers and how that works. Can you talk a little bit about networking among chambers and what you do?
Of course. So last week, Landmark Credit Union, which is new to the area, they came up from Lower Wisconsin and Illinois, and they took over American first. And we had Heart of the Valley, Fox Cities, and Fox West chambers there for the ribbon cutting, which is great. But Landmark Credit Union decided that's what they wanted. It was awesome. We had a great time, great turnout. I am actually right now at the Heart of the Valley Chamber golf outing. So we support each other. We're in Greenville, and we're next to the New London Area Chamber of Commerce. So they were at one of our business after hours last month. So we all like to play together in the sandbox. There's no reason to not interact with each other. Again, I worked at the Heart of the Valley for 6 years. I love these girls. I love supporting their golf outing here, and they support ours as well. So any chance we can work together, we absolutely look forward to it.
Is there a role? Do the chambers have a role in, say, working with state government to help push forward things?
Not in my role. Not in our chamber so much. We don't see a whole lot of that at all, to be honest with you.
Okay.
We do have politicians that come to our events, and they're a no-fee member. You know what I mean? So come support us if you want to be at these ribbon cuttings. That's great. But yeah, they fall in that kind of gray category where we don't charge them as members, but they're free to come.
Okay. So looking at the valley in general, in your area specifically, you have a positive outlook on the new businesses and the growth in new businesses and people coming into the area for business that you can talk about?
Of course. Of course. So the Greenville area, right next to our office, has got 2 new subdivisions that are huge that are being built. So the more people that will come, the more business that will come. The Greenville, Hortonville area is ready for a huge growth, and we are here for it. Also Fox Crossing, also Grand Chute. So everything if you're going south on 41, everything to the right-hand side is considered our territory. That is a ton of businesses. That is a ton of people. So like I said, we're just going to keep moving and growing and get more members as we can and show them the value and get them to come to these events and support us, and we can support them. It's a great partnership.
Yeah, so I was actually out probably near your offices getting a haircut about 4 weeks ago. And that'd been the first time I was out there in about a year, and maybe 2. And I was surprised to see the number of businesses that, one, I sort of knew about it, but didn't really place where they were. But how many offerings were in that area? And we actually, my wife and I went out for supper there to Field and Fire within the last few months too. So it's really good.
Funny story. I think I talked to you about a couple months ago, and I told you to go there, and I gave you my business card. Now that you say that, because my buddy owns it.
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, was it you? Okay.
No, but could be somebody else in score. But yeah, no, I went. It was really good. We'd heard a lot about it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good, really unique type of serving place too. We had a lot of fun. Okay, so we're getting to the point where we're going to take our final break. And for listeners, thank you again for listening in. We'll be back for one more segment. It's been a really interesting show. We're learning a lot about the Fox West Chamber of Commerce. So we've got some final commercials to go through, and then we'll come back for our thank yous to sponsors and to wrap up the show. So we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Biz Talk with SCORE. We'd like to thank our sponsors for their generous support. Hailing and Associates helps small businesses and individuals not just prepare tax returns, but plan for the future. Hailing and Associates, personal connection, positive results. Wherever you are in life or the life of your business, Johnson Financial Group works to match the banking and wealth services needed to help you complete your mission. Thank you to the Business News for promoting our program in the bi-weekly business newspaper serving Northeast Wisconsin with the latest business news and topics for the regions. We are grateful for the support of Community First Credit Union. At its core, Community First is a community of member owners where people work together to improve their financial well-being and help one another. New North, the Regional Marketing and Economic Development Corporation, is an active supporter of SCORE. The New North facilitates economic growth and helps people in this region live their best lives. Since 1919, Baird has guided families through investment, trust, estate, and tax planning advice. So no matter what the future brings, you be confident you're ready because your family is Baird's focus. So with that, we're going to turn back for the final time to Jamie Harvey from the Executive Director of the Fox West Chamber of Commerce. And Jamie, can you let people know how they can get a hold of you and the Chamber?
Of course. So you can call me anytime at 920-931-2925, or you can email me at marketing@foxwestchamber.com. And I'll love to hear back from anybody, give them any information, what questions they have for joining or about membership or about the Chamber, and I will get back to them. Absolutely.
And we would like to thank Jamie as well. She is sitting in what's supposed to be a beer cooler, but acts more like a sauna. And she's been a real trooper to stick through this recording. So we do appreciate that. But Jamie, I think we should probably mention to our guests where else they could have seen you recently in the area.
So Fox Cities Magazine is a huge supporter of the Fox West Chamber, and I've known the staff and Ruth Ann Heater there for years. And so they have the swimsuit edition every summer, and they need somebody in different divisions to be represented. So I'm in the nonprofit world, and so they needed somebody in the nonprofit. And I put my hand up for it. She's like, "Do you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to do it." So they put me in there, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm getting a lot of fun feedback from it. A lot of smack talk too, So it was a good experience. But yeah, grab a Fox City swimsuit edition, and I'll give you an autograph.
Okay, so in the time we have left, what's next? Where's Fox West Chamber heading?
What's next? Okay, more memberships. Like I said, we've got 4 new members as of yesterday this week so far. So we are growing like crazy. Like I said, we've got that Glow Golf coming up. That's something new and exciting. We've got our Timber Rattlers tonight. We've got our annual golf outing coming up at the end of July. We're just moving. The days go by so fast. We've got so many people giving us feedback of things we should do. It's like, that's great. That's a great idea. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's experience this. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm loving it.
Well, that's great. We really appreciate having you on the show. It's good to have somebody who's been in the role for just a short period of time and can talk about what she's seeing and learning, and to show, quite frankly, the amount of enthusiasm you have, given the sauna you're talking from right now. That's great, and we really appreciate it. So thanks a lot for being on the show. I told Mary I'd make it work. Yep. So to our listeners, you've been listening to Biz Talk with SCORE. If you want to hear this episode again, it'll be up as a podcast shortly. You can find the last 3 years of podcasts at your favorite podcatcher anywhere, including iTunes or Apple, Amazon Music, etc., Spotify. So go ahead, take a listen, and you'll hear some great shows. You can also catch us on the WHBY app, and we are very thankful for WHBY. They've helped keep this show going for 25 years. So thanks again for all they do, and thank you, the listeners, for listening in. We really appreciate the opportunity to tell our community about the businesses in the area and about what SCORE does, because you're why we're here. So to everybody out there, thank you and have a great weekend. and we'll talk again next week. Thank you, everybody. Bye.